This video is brought to you by Poolonomics. Your pH level is at the heart of your pool chemistry. It dictates how your water looks, how it feels, and even its ability to fight off contaminants. So in this video, we'll take you through everything a pool owner needs to know when it comes to pH. Let's start from the top. What is pH? Your pH, or potential of hydrogen, represents how acidic or basic your pool water is by how much hydrogen is in the water. This is measured on a scale of 1 to 14. A reading of 1 is extremely acidic, with a high concentration of hydrogen ions in the water, while 14 is extremely basic, with a low concentration of hydrogen ions. To put this in perspective, lemon juice is very acidic with a pH level of 2, and household bleach is very basic with a pH level of 13. Fortunately, the pH level in a swimming pool rarely goes to such extremes, typically staying between 6 and 9. Why is your pH level important? Your pH fundamentally impacts the chemistry and overall quality of your pool water. Water holds less calcium at higher pH, causing it to precipitate out of the water as white flakes, known as calcium scale. This scaling appears on your surfaces, plumbing, and equipment, and it even makes your water cloudy. Chlorine is also less effective at higher pH levels, so your normal chlorine level may no longer be enough to deal with contaminants in the water, including algae. Allowing your pH to get too low will lead to corrosive water and etching. This is when your water begins eating away at plaster, metals, grout, and pool tiles. Corrosive water even discolors and weakens pool vinyl liners. Finally, swimming in a pool with either low or high pH can cause discomfort, as it leads to itchy or dry skin, as well as eye irritation. What is the ideal pH level? The ideal pH level prevents both corrosive and scaling conditions in your pool, while also allowing chlorine to work effectively. This happens to be slightly basic at somewhere between 7.2 and 7.8. Some pools will naturally lean toward the lower end of that range, while other pools will lean toward the higher end. Nobody can give you an exact number for your pool. It's just something you will have to identify as you test and observe your pH level over time. What is a pH buffer? A pH buffer helps to stabilize your pH, keeping it within the ideal range. Total alkalinity is your primary buffer. It serves as a kind of shield for your pH level, absorbing acids in the water before they have a chance to lower your pH. Typically, you'll want to keep your total alkalinity between 80 and 120 parts per million to ensure your pH has a suitable buffer. Borates, in the form of borax or boric acid, also buffer pH. Unlike total alkalinity, borates are more effective at buffering against a pH increase and are mostly considered optional. What causes pH to change? Typically, your pH will slowly rise over time due to outgassing. This is where carbon dioxide leaves the water as it tries to equalize with the surrounding air, a bit like when you open a can of soda. Algae also remove carbon dioxide from the water during photosynthesis. Since carbon dioxide is acidic, this natural process will slowly raise the pH level in your pool. There are plenty of ways to directly increase your pH as well, including using a pH increaser like soda ash, an alkalinity increaser like baking soda, or even some types of pool shock. In some cases, though, the pH level in your pool will decline over time. This happens when acid is introduced to the water, such as muriatic acid or dry acid, as well as through many types of chlorine tablets. Organic contaminants like leaves, insects, sweat and saliva also produce organic acid when they decompose in water. Even rainwater can lower your pH level over time, as it's slightly acidic. In any case, your total alkalinity level will dictate how effective these acids are at lowering your pH, with a higher buffer offering more protection. How do you test your pH level? Almost any pool test strip or liquid testing kit will allow you to test pH. Test strips work by simply dipping the strip directly into the pool and waiting for the tabs to change color. The result is compared against the provided color chart. Liquid test kits use reagents to color the water and are more accurate than strips. They provide a much deeper insight into your pH and how it fluctuates in the water, but they're also more time-consuming and more expensive. Either way, when you're starting out, you should test your pH level as often as daily, reducing it to once or twice weekly once you begin to identify a pattern. How do you adjust your pH level? Adjusting pH is done by adding the right substance to your water, depending on whether you're going up or down. As we touched on earlier, you can lower your pH level using any kind of acid. Most pool owners use muriatic acid, which is a liquid acid that's poured directly into the pool. Aside from being extremely effective at lowering the pH level, it's also widely available in most regions and relatively inexpensive. A common alternative is sodium bisulfate or dry acid. As its name suggests, this is a dry form of acid that's easier and safer to handle, but it does add sulfates to your water, which can lead to excessively high sulfate levels over time. By the same logic, you can raise your pH level by adding any kind of base. Soda ash or washing soda is a popular choice. The powder is dissolved in a bucket before being added to the water, and it's very effective at raising both pH and total alkalinity. Borax or sodium borate is a better option if you need to increase pH with minimal impact on alkalinity, and it can be directly added to the water. How do you maintain your pH level? Being able to adjust your pH is one thing, but knowing how to maintain a stable pH level is where the real power lies. As with most things in pool chemistry, it all starts with testing. Learning how your pH level reacts to changes in season and usage takes time, so you'll need to regularly test your water to gain a firm grasp on this relationship. For example, if you notice your pH level tends to rise over time, you might consider adding a regular dose of muriatic acid into your maintenance routine. If your pH tends to drift south over time, you may need to evaluate your chemical usage or consider less acidic alternatives. Total alkalinity is also your best defense against fluctuations in pH, so testing and ensuring your alkalinity stays between 80 and 120 parts per million is equally as important. Finally, the general upkeep of your pool will go a long way here. Things like regular cleaning, using a pool cover, and maintaining a high enough sanitizer level to prevent algae will reduce the impact on your pH level. So there you have it, a complete overview and beginner's guide to your pool's pH level. Check the description below for links to our full companion article, along with supporting articles for many of the points discussed in the video. We also have a free downloadable and printable checklist to help with your pool maintenance schedule. You can get it for free at poolonomics.com/checklist. That's all from us. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for all things pool care.